Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Tony Sandleben.
And I'm Victoria Moton. Thanks for joining us. When you hear the name Zuckerberg, the first thought that comes to mind is Facebook, right? Well, think again. Mark Zuckerberg's sister, Randy, is not only the CEO and co-founder of her own media company, she's also a New York Times best-selling author who works for the Today Show and holds many more prestigious titles. Tonight, Zuckerberg spoke to Ball State students on technology and how to use it. But first, she sat down with NewsLink Indiana's reporter, Mackenzie Clark, sharing this key to social media.
College, we're always being told, watch your social media, be appropriate, be professional. And I know that you talked, I think you were in France, and you talked about your friend she always posts about cats. And how do you become, how can you allure different jobs and get your foot in the door, and how, when employers are looking at your Facebook, what is the different things that people should be posting and what should we not be posting?
Well, I think right now, especially students with the kind of access that people have on this campus, you have a real opportunity to be a thought leader years before your peers will have that opportunity. You're in an environment where they're encouraging you to think about creative ways to tell stories, where you're actually getting hands-on experience. So I would just really encourage everyone to pick one or two topics and just really start blogging about that, posting articles, connecting with leaders in that field, and retweeting them or striking up a conversation, because that is what bosses are going to look for when they're hiring. They're going to look for someone who's already establishing themselves as a thought leader in their field and who has a little bit of an audience for themselves.
A $25 fee has been implemented for people who want to surrender animals to the Muncie Animal Shelter. NewsLink Indiana's Molly Carr has the story.
In cages and waiting for homes. The Muncie Animal Shelter is now charging a $25 fee to take in dogs and cats. The fee will help with their spay and neuter account. Bill Peckinpah, director of the Muncie Animal Shelter, explains how he feels about the fee, as well as the expected response of patrons.
All too often I think that we look at pets as this disposable thing where I don't want it anymore. I can very easily go and take the dog or the cat to the Muncie Animal Shelter and not have to worry about it ever again.
5,000 animals were surrendered to the Muncie Animal Shelter this past year. A $25 fee, which is said to go towards the shelter's spay and neuter account, has since been implemented to those people who are looking to surrender animals.
I do feel that pets are a lifelong commitment, and there is quite a bit of responsibility in taking care of them. And so asking for that $25 surrender fee to help defray some of the costs that we put into the animal, which far exceed $25, and then also shift some of that responsibility back onto the owner that had the pet in the first place.
Volunteers come and care for these animals and organize donated goods. The director hopes these fees will have owners thinking twice before surrendering their animals. For NewsLink Indiana, I'm Molly Carr. Back to you in the studio.
Minutes before the Sunday midnight deadline, the United Auto Workers Union and General Motors reached a tentative agreement on a new contract. However, this is just the start. The contract is negotiated every 4 years, and it contains itineraries such as wage benefits, benefit packages, and retirement. The members are fighting against tiered wages. If local members vote in favor of the new agreement, then General Motors hourly workers will vote nationwide. I think it's starting to get a little chilly outside, and I'm loving it. How are you feeling about that?
I am so excited. It's been very, very hot. There's no central air in my house either, so this cooler weather has been fantastic. Today was absolutely wonderful. Rumors of a little bit of rain coming our way. Kaylee, what do you think? Is there going to be some rain heading this way?
We could see some rain, and those warm temperatures won't last for long. We are seeing a cool down as well as we look here at McKinley the last 14 hours. But we're currently around 49 degrees. We will see some rain in the forecast. We will take a look at your Halloween forecast, and we will see that cool down. All that next on weather.
Searchers are scrambling to find survivors in Afghanistan and Pakistan after a powerful earthquake rocked the region, killing at least 229 people. As Polo Sandoval reports, the U.S. Geological Survey expects widespread damage and the casualty count to rise.
The desperate search for survivors seems constant in South Central Asia. crews are combing through rubble, hoping to find any signs of life after a powerful earthquake shook parts of war-ravaged Afghanistan and Pakistan. Among the dead, 12 teenage schoolgirls killed in a stampede while trying to evacuate their school as the earth shook. The U.S. Geological Survey reports shockwaves from the estimated 7.5 magnitude quake were felt hundreds of miles away in northern India. American officials stationed in the region report they are unaware if U.S. citizens are among the dead, injured, or missing. The White House adding the U.S. is ready to provide much-needed help.
There are a number of pre-positioned emergency shelter and relief supply kits in warehouses throughout Afghanistan. And in Pakistan, USAID has existing partners who are ready to respond.
Concerns are now emerging about the potential for landslides in the mountainous regions. Afghanistan was hit hard, but officials say much of the death and devastation is being reported in Pakistan. With a large number of missing in both countries, the casualty count is likely to rise. I'm Polo Sandoval reporting.
At least 5 people are dead after a whale-watching boat capsized off Canada's west coast. It happened near the town of Tofino on Sunday. 27 people were on board. Authorities say 21 people were rescued. 1 person remains missing. No word yet on what caused the boat to sink. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada is investigating. Officials say the boat is owned by Jamie's Whaling Station and Adventure Centers. The company expressed sorrow in a statement on its website saying, quote, "It has been a tragic day. Our entire team is heartbroken over this incident, and our hearts go out to the families, friends, and loved ones of everyone involved. We are doing everything we can to assist our passengers and staff through this difficult time."
4 people are dead and more than 40 injured in a car crash at Oklahoma State University's homecoming parade. Authorities say a woman drove her car through a crowd of spectators Saturday. Among those killed, a 2-year-old boy who died from his injuries at a hospital, and 3 adults were pronounced dead at the scene. Will Dupree has the latest.
I'm never going to forget that in my mind. You know, it's going to replay over and over.
The car that slammed into a crowd of OSU fans came to a stop in the exact place where Kaylee Carter and her roommate sat watching the parade.
I just saw something black coming at us. I didn't know what it was at first, and so I just got up and ran, and the car hit me like as it was stopping, and then I flew over some strollers.
The OSU sophomore from Tulsa walked away despite badly cutting her hand. Before she went to the hospital, her roommate tried to shield her from the carnage around her.
There was bodies obviously laying there, and my roommate was like, do not look, because they were putting bags over people, and she's like, you don't want to look over there, and it was just really scary.
Police identified the driver as 25-year-old Adesha Chambers. A man who says he pulled his sons out of the way just in time shared a picture with us, showing officers arresting her.
People were here having fun, and literally they don't know what hit them. I mean, it just came 40, 50 miles an hour like they were speeding through the crowd of people.
The tragic deaths of 4 and the injuries of dozens more stunned Governor Mary Fallin.
You know, homecoming's a time of celebration. It's a time to enjoy a wonderful Oklahoma tradition. That's football, and to think that someone could hurt people like this is just unfathomable.
The governor says she hopes to meet with some of the victims tonight, and many plan to join her by sending their thoughts and prayers.
Authorities say Adesha Chambers was also struck an unmanned police motorcycle. She was initially detained for suspicion of a DUI. On Sunday, police added 4 charges of second-degree murder. Chambers' first court appearance was today, where her bond was set for $1 million.
The University of Mississippi has removed the state flag from campus. The move comes just days after student senators voted to have the flag taken down because it features the Confederate battle emblem. University police lowered the flag as campus opened this morning. The school's faculty and staff are supporting the student-led initiative. The interim school chancellor says while the flag represents tradition and honor to some, it also means some members of the Ole Miss family are not welcomed or valued. The flag will be placed in the university's archives, along with resolutions calling for its removal.
When NewsLink Indiana returns, find out what Muncie Eyesore is getting a big upgrade.
And a major corporation is looking to join the drone craze. That and much more coming up next.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
A $300,000 academic excellence grant was awarded to 3 Ball State faculty members. It will be used to convert the old Cintas building, which is located in downtown Muncie. The renovation will create an area for collaboration between Muncie and Ball State. Architecture students will have the chance to become involved in real-life situations. Locals will gain access to tools such as table saws, drill presses, and laser cutters. A meeting will take place sometime next year to discuss further planning.
A fire that started in an attached garage damaged an in-Low Springs road home late Saturday night. Firefighters were called to a garage fire around 9:45 p.m. One resident called to report the fire after hearing popping noises and seeing the blaze out of the window. One resident suffered smoke inhalation and was taken to the hospital but was reported to be okay.
A Muncie woman who helped a killer move his victim's remains was sentenced to 6 years in prison today. 40-year-old Regina Nicole Miller was found guilty of assisting a criminal and obstruction of justice last month. Testimony indicates Miller helped Terry Rutledge, who has been sentenced to 65 years in prison himself, move Tanya Ingram's body from the basement of Miller's home. Public defender Brandon Murphy said his client feared that Rutledge would harm her or her children. Deputy prosecutor Zach Craig asked Judge Wolf to impose a maximum 10-year sentence.
A northern Indiana woman is recovering after being shot in the foot by her dog. The dog's name, Trigger. Indiana Conservation Officer Jonathan Boyd says 25-year-old Allie Carter and her 12-gauge shotgun on the ground without the safety on during a hunting trip on Saturday when Carter's dog stepped on the top of the shotgun and depressed the trigger, firing the weapon. Carter was treated for injuries to her foot and toes at 2 hospitals before being released.
Walmart says it wants to be the next to use its own drones in the sky. On Monday, Walmart filed for permission with federal regulators. A Walmart spokesman says it's been testing drones inside for months, but now the retailer wants to use them inside in specific testing sites. Walmart says it would use drones for home deliveries, but its initial focus would be to move products between distribution centers.
It's a case of binge watching gone wrong. 2 friends were in their apartment drinking and watching The Walking Dead. 23-year-old Damon Perry thought his friend was turning into a zombie and going to bite him. Perry beat his friend to death with a microwave, guitar, and other items. He has been charged with an open account of murder and is held at the Cibola County Detention Center.
Well, coming up, the leaves have changed and rain may be on the way.
How much cold and how much do you need to wear for your full fall weather forecast is next.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
The weather was really nice today. Over the weekend during the football game, it kind of got chilly, a little dreary, but I'm glad to see that it's starting to become that perfect fall weather.
Yeah, I got lucky with the football game. I locked myself in the press box to avoid that horrendous rain that came all over Schumann Stadium. But luckily, like you said, today was a lot better, a lot more warmer, clear air. Kaylee, is it gonna stay? Please don't tell me there's gonna be more rain.
You know, I can't tell you that. There is going to be some more rain, unfortunately, and those cooler temperatures. Good evening. I'm weather forecaster Kaylee Pluchel. We're looking at your national temperatures here. Minneapolis at 56, Denver at 49, over here in Las Vegas at 79, 68 in Dallas, and as we move into the state of Indiana, Muncie currently at 49 degrees, Indianapolis at 57, in the southern part of the state, Bloomington at 60, and Kokomo up there at 48 degrees. Expect tonight's low of 42 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Expect those winds to be mild around east at 8 miles per hour. As we look into tomorrow's forecast, a high of 59 degrees with those rain chances already coming into the forecast. As you can see down here, these winds are going to be a little bit higher as well with 17 miles per hour. As we look in here to our Scarecast, Halloween is on Saturday, but we will possibly have those chance of rain and mild temperatures, as you can see here at 62 degrees for the high on Saturday. But it will be a lot better than last year. I mean, we did see snow on Halloween, so anything's better than that. As we look here at our almanac, we can see our high today was around 61 degrees, low around 42, and we are about on average for the end of October. But you can see here the high of 81 record in 1963, and just a year prior, we hit the record low of 20 degrees. As we take a chance to look at Precision Cast right here, we see Tuesday at 10 a.m. rain chances all across Indiana, Illinois, and Ohio as well. As we move into around dinner time tomorrow, we do see, again, just more rain. This is not going to go away. And as we move into Wednesday, you can see that these rain chances continue for Wednesday, and heaviest chances there around Wednesday at 4 a.m. As we move on to your 7-day forecast, you can see that Tuesday a high of 59 with those rain chances. Again, rain chances on Wednesday with a high of 65. Cooler temperatures on Thursday with 50 degrees, but mostly cloudy skies. Sunny skies on Friday for 54 degrees. Again, rain chances back in the forecast for the weekend on Saturday, a high of 62. Sunday, a high of 65. And as we look into the beginning of next week, Monday, a high of 65 with those rain chances still staying in the forecast.
Yeah, that rain chance on Saturday. I might have to lock myself in the press box again. I got very lucky last week, didn't have to deal with that. Thank you very much, Kaylee. Speaking of sports, when we return, a Ball State team puts their undefeated home record on the line over the weekend.
And volleyball finds its footing on Family Weekend. NewsLink Indiana Sports is next.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Well, the Ball State women's volleyball team looked to bounce back this past weekend after a brief skid. I'm Casey Miller. Welcome to NewsLink Indiana Sports. Now, this team lost 4 of their last 5 games. The volleyball team did. NewsLink Indiana's Brian Beam has more on the story.
The Ball State women's volleyball team had a jam-packed family weekend. They came into Saturday's game versus Bowling Green with momentum on their side after sweeping conference foe Miami. In Saturday's game, the Cardinals won again in 3 straight sets, 25-16, 25-22, and 25-11. I had a chance to speak with Ball State head coach Steve Shondell and senior Mackenzie Kitchell after the game, where they gave their thoughts on the team's success this weekend.
Thought we played extremely well Friday night against Miami, and we played good enough to win tonight. We weren't at our best tonight, but we found a way to win. And the thing that I was really pleased this weekend, both nights we served the ball extremely well. Served the ball as tough as we've served all year, and that kept our opponent out of their offense both nights. So really give a lot of credit to our girls for great serving and for playing a beautiful match against a great Miami team, and then tonight finding a way to win when we weren't quite as sharp as we were last night.
So the last 2 weeks, our coaches in practice have been having us have a little more personality, and I think that's helped us a lot, because when our personality comes out and our own thoughts and energy comes out, I think that just helps us personally do what we need to get done, and I think that helps us focus on our own jobs instead of everything that's going on around us.
At Worthen Arena in Muncie, I'm Brian Beam for NewsLink Indiana.
And the volleyball team continues their season on Thursday at home against Toledo. Now, Ball State soccer enjoying quite the home field advantage so far this season. The Cardinals are undefeated at Briner Sports Complex this year. Ball State putting that on the line this weekend against Buffalo. Now let's get to that game in the 22nd minute. Ball State's Lauren Hall fires a shot saved by keeper Laura Dougal. The Cardinals made her work. Dougal with 11 saves in the game. Moving on to the 40th minute, Chelsea Swackhammer. She's just off target there. Ball State with 27 shots on the day, Buffalo with just 3. But Ball State couldn't get past Laura Dougal, the Buffalo keeper, and this one would go to overtime. Ball State needing some extra time. 4 minutes into overtime, though. The Cardinals on the set piece. Dougal couldn't get it, and Swackhammer converts on the second chance. Ball State defends the home turf 1-0. After the game, Swackhammer walked us through that goal.
Well, we've been working really hard on our set pieces. I think that's something that we focus on a lot. We have a lot of really good girls out of the air. And they sent a ball in, it went back across, and Lauren Hull had a great header right back. And I got a head on it, but then it hit the crossbar, but then it fell like perfectly to my thigh, so I just thighed it in. So if it wasn't for Lauren, that goal never would have went in, so it was really good work rate by her.
And guys, Ball State wraps up their regular season, looking to claim the conference crown on Thursday at Miami.
All right, well, a very exciting weekend it sounds like for a couple of Ball State sports, maybe not necessarily for the football team. You know, we all saw what happened there, an unfortunate loss. But good to see the volleyball team and the soccer team, especially the soccer team. What a season they're having.
They have put together quite a string of wins recently, only lost once since September. So it's looking good for the Cardinals.
Absolutely, something to be proud of there. Thank you very much, Casey. Coming up, the Golden Globes have a new host this year.
And Starbucks has unveiled a new fall-themed drink. Find out what it is when we come back with your NewsLink Entertainment.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Val Jones, and here's the latest in entertainment news. A move over pumpkin spice latte, Starbucks is now serving a spookier kind of drink. The Frappula will be available at Starbucks locations from October 28th to the 31st. The new Halloween drink is made up of white chocolate sauce, milk, and ice blended together, topped with whipped cream and raspberry sauce. The Frappula is the second Halloween-themed beverage since the green tea Franken Frappuccino in 2014. Ricky Gervais is set to return to the Beverly Hilton Hotel this January as host of the 73rd Annual Golden Globe Awards. This will be Gervais' first time hosting the show since 2012. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler have dominated the show the past 3 years. However, their contract ended this year. Lorenzo Soria, president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, said Ricky Gervais left us with a lasting impression, and we are thrilled to have him back in our show as we honor the best in film and television. Singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran is famously known for his tracks A-Team and more recently Photograph. And now he's making headlines again for helping out his childhood friend. Amy Wadge was facing financial troubles when Sheeran invited her to contribute to his album. She helped Sheeran write the famous song Thinking Out Loud, a song that has been streamed over 500 million times on Spotify. Wadge originally planned on only getting a little money to pay her bills, but since the song sold over 100,000 copies, Sheeran says she never has to worry about money again. That's the latest in entertainment news. I'm NewsLink Indiana's Val Jones. Back to you at the desk.
All right, thank you very much, Kayla. Let's have one final look at weather.
Yeah, you know, rain. That's the big theme of this next week, and also cooler temperatures you can see tomorrow, high of 59, Wednesday a high of 65, and cooler temperatures as we start to move into the end of this week.
All right, that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.